Meet the sheriffs.
My name's Mr. Griggs. My colleague and I are enforcement agents.
It's to do with a High Court order.
They work for the High Court. And if it says you're owed money, it's their job to go and get it.
I'm here for £6,072.18.
They can demand payment on the spot.
I'm here for the full balance.
How are you going to pay it?
Or remove assets instead.
The car will be going unless you can pay it.
You'll have a week to pay in full before it gets sold at auction.
Obstructing their work can be a criminal offence.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. The door needs to stay open.
Every year in England and Wales, unpaid debts totalling more than £80 million are recovered by the sheriffs. Coming up, Kieran Kelly discovered his new car had been in a crash.
I was stunned, shocked, angry. I didn't drive the car anymore.
When the dealer responsible says he can't pay, Lawrence has other ideas.
West Car Sales have got all the cars that are here. Yes. Unfortunately, that's who we're here for.
Ken won't take no for an answer at a hotel with a debt to pay.
Please start making these phone calls now to get this money to me now, OK? I'll wait.
Tommy and Craig eye up a Jaguar on a debtor's driveway.
Are you telling me you can pay this in full? If you're not telling me that, then I'll clamp the vehicle and look to remove it.
And the sheriffs take control of goods at a Coventry Mechanics.
It's getting near the end game now, so they need to either pay up or lose the gear. Simple as.
In Kent, enforcement agents Lawrence Griggs and Kev McNally are on the road. They've got a High Court writ to collect a debt owed by a car dealer.
Right, today we're in Sittingbourne. We are going to West Car Sales. We are looking for £1,452. I presume the debt is relating to the sale of a second-hand vehicle.
The claimant in the case is Kieran Kelly. He first came across West Car Sales when he was looking for a cheap second-hand car and checked out the stock at a few of his local dealers.
I saw a car that was appealing to me. It was within my price range. The car was a Renault Megane. It was black. It was a 5-door car. We have 4 grandchildren, so of course from time to time we pick the children up from school. So what we needed was a car that would be able to accommodate both myself and my partner and the grandkids.
Kieran went to the dealers and met the salesman there, a Mr. Jeff Lee.
He was quite an amenable chap. He's quite friendly. He seemed quite trustworthy. So took the car out on a test drive for about 10 minutes or so and then brought it back. It wasn't great, but at the end of the day, for £850, you know, you're not going to get a great car, but it seemed to be good value for money.
Kieran may not have been looking for a top-of-the-range car, but there was one thing he was adamant about. He didn't want anything that had previously been in an accident or written off.
I'd had a bad experience with a previous car, so I asked the dealer specifically, was the car that I was buying subject to a write-off? He just quite simply said no.
So Kieran bought it and drove it happily for several months, until one day he scraped the front of the car on the curb while parking and was surprised by the amount of damage it caused.
The whole front end, i.e. the whole bumper, was detached and it was hanging.
When Kieran got home, he called the AA, and when they took a look, they found clues that the car had in fact been in a previous accident after all.
They knocked the door and said, look, I think you need to get your logbook. So I came back into my home, got the logbook, and clearly on the logbook it had stated that the car was subject to a write-off. I was stunned, absolutely stunned. Stunned, shocked, angry, annoyed.
The obvious thing to do was to get in touch with West Car Sales.
I rang on 4 or 5 occasions and I couldn't get a response, so I decided to ping him an email to let him know of my concerns and that it had been missold to myself, and therefore I wanted to reject the vehicle and seek a full refund.
For some weeks, Kieran chased for a refund, but it wasn't forthcoming. The car, meanwhile, was marooned on the driveway, where it still remains.
Having been told that this car was potentially dangerous, I didn't drive the car anymore. I was currently looking for a job, so when I was going for interviews, I was hiring a vehicle. Could I afford it? The answer is no.
And after still getting nowhere with West Car Sales, Kieran took the company to court. On the day of the hearing, he was feeling upbeat.
I supplied 15 to 19 pages worth of correspondence, together with text messages and all the communication. So I was extremely confident of the outcome, no concerns.
But just moments before the hearing, Mr. Lee arrived, wanting to make a deal to pay Kieran back in instalments. Kieran accepted, and the agreement was rubber-stamped by the judge.
His first payment was due to myself of £100 on the 1st of December. He failed to pay it, and he said he had family issues. So I decided to extend that for a week to give him a bit of grace, and lo and behold, he failed again.
Kieran's now had enough of being messed about and has transferred his case up to the High Court.
Having seen the programme on the TV, it makes me feel that they can achieve something that clearly I can't, and I'm just really hopeful that they get the outcome that I need.
Lawrence and Kev are about to arrive at West Car Sales, and ever the optimist, Kev is hopeful of getting Mr. Kelly's money.
I've had a look at the site online while I was doing my research, and there's quite a few cars on the front here, cars and vans, so hopefully they'll be owned by our debtor company and be able to get this debt paid.
And as they pull into the garage, it seems Kev's research was spot on.
There are a lot of vehicles here.
Goes a way back, doesn't it?
And before they even manage to park, a man pulls up alongside, wanting to know why the sheriffs are here.
West Car Sales we're here for.
Yeah,
Is that you, is it?
got it for Kieran Kelly.
Yeah. It's you we're dealing with, is it?
Yeah, Jeff Lee.
Do you want to park yourself up and we'll hop out?
It's the man who sold Kieran his car, and it seems he doesn't dispute he owes the money. In fact, he says he wants to pay.
I spoke to Kieran Kelly and I said, look, can I pay you £500 at the end of the month? He said to negotiate with you. But
The problem
obviously
is
it's your case.
you've got assets. We're not ordered out to collect your money. We're ordered by the RIT to take control of your goods.
I know that.
All you can do is pay in full.
I can't. I haven't got,
Because you've got the stock.
yeah, but it's not mine. This is owned by WR Parish, which is obviously I'm the manager for.
Although Mr. Lee admits he sold Mr. Kelly a car, he's now saying he sold it under his own name, not the garage's where he's just an employee. But that's not what it says on Mr. Kelly's receipt, nor on Lawrence's writ.
West Car Sales have got all the cars that are here.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's who we're here for, is their name on the writ. So any of these cars that belong to West Car Sales are likely to go to clear the debt. At the moment, it stands at £1,452.73p.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of these cars would cover it.
Right. Okay.
The owner of West Car Sales is away, is he?
He won't be back until Monday. Yeah.
Mr. Lee might not want his employer's cars to be taken, but the sheriffs can't just ignore the paperwork from the courts.
Fair play to you for sticking your hands up and saying, right, it should actually be me, but we can't deal with it as being you. So if you want to pay it on their behalf, again, fair play to you.
Is there no way whatsoever I can have an arrangement with you?
No,
I can't.
because there's stock here, and you've just admitted that the stock belongs to West Car
Yeah,
Sales.
it does, yeah.
We can give you a little bit of time to try, to cobble the money together.
Put it on a couple of cards if it helps as well. Doesn't have to be from one. No, put it on as many as you want.
While Mr. Lee is cooperating, so far he still isn't showing any indication that he's about to come up with the money. So Lawrence ups the ante.
If it comes to removal, there's another 1,300 quid going on it. It's going to virtually double. So, no, we don't want that. So that's what I'm saying. I can give you a little bit of time to get this money together.
As in
If
minutes.
there's somebody, we're not talking days, not talking hours either, really, because obviously we're busy guys.
Lawrence's strategy works. Mr. Lee suddenly produces the company's card and offers to make a payment.
Right, let's see if we've got a signal.
I don't have a PIN number though.
You have to know your PIN number or you can't do it. Unless you can go and do it online.
You can't do it.
You got online facility here?
No, not to do.
Mr. Lee can't use the card and heads into his office, leaving Lawrence and Kev to ponder their next move.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit of a shame he hasn't got the PIN number to his the account here. Otherwise, we'd have had a big part of it paid off. So we'll just see what developments are on there.
The development is that Mr. Lee immediately returns, and this time he's brought cash.
I think he's got the full amount.
100,000, yeah?
All good.
Do you want to hop in the other side and count
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
Kev, while I start writing the receipt?
What's there?
1,500.
Amazing of it.
Yeah.
1,500, yeah?
Yeah.
Mr. Lee has settled the balance in full, and he gives his side of the story.
Sold a car to a chap. It must have been about 8-9 months ago. Chap had it for 6 months. It had been involved in an accident. I wasn't aware of this. The chap then came back and saw us and obviously gave us the point of view that he wanted a refund. Wasn't in a position to do so at the time because obviously we wanted to have the car checked. He didn't allow us to do so. And here we are today.
Thank you.
We tried to make an arrangement with the guy, but obviously it was unaccepted. So if you've done wrong, you've got to pay for it.
That's yours. That went very well, really. He was quite cooperative from the start. He did inform us that it should really have been his debt because it was a car that he had on sale or return, not a car that was owned by West Car Sales. But it's got West Car Sales on it and all the stock there was West Car Sales, happily for us. There was a point where we didn't think he was going to be able to come up with the money because he didn't have the PIN number for the credit card he had, but then he went off and appeared with cash, so happy days, another job done.
It was a pleasure to meet you, bud. See you later. I'll move my car so you can get out, yeah? Okay, thanks a lot.
And Lawrence isn't the only one who's pleased.
Excellent result. It's been a great day. I've contacted the Sheriff's Office today. They've managed to recover all the money I was claiming. It's a shame that I've had to go to the extremes that I've had to. However, I'm just pleased to say it's all done, it's all dusted. We can now just move on and enjoy the rest of our lives.
There is, however, one aspect of the court order that's yet to be resolved.
Part of the judgment was that the car would be collected. To date, it still hasn't been collected, and I'm in a situation now where I'm probably going to have to or go back to the court with a view to getting the removal of the vehicle. So, you know, unfortunately, that part of the story hasn't ended.
Using the county courts to try to recover money you're owed isn't difficult. 1.5 million money claims are made every year in England and Wales, involving anything from faulty goods or poor workmanship to unpaid invoices. Claims can be filed by post or online for a small fee. Both parties in the case will be asked to submit evidence, and you may have to attend a court hearing. If you're successful, a county court judgment or CCJ will be issued against the debtor. And if they still don't pay, that's when you call the sheriffs. Sheriffs typically enforce over 1,000 writs every year. And while each one is different, enforcement agents often find diplomacy is more effective than simply threatening to remove everything in sight. If it's necessary to play the long game, Ken Warby is happy to do so. He just wants his client's money back.
We're going to visit a hotel called the Stuart Hotel in Luton. It's a sizable hotel by all accounts.
The hotel has been taken to court by a linen company over unpaid invoices.
I'd imagine it's for tablecloths and bed linen, etc. Dry cleaning.
The hotel didn't defend the case in court, so a default judgment was issued against it. But more than 3 months later, it remains unpaid. And now Ken needs to collect £6,276. From the outside, the hotel does indeed seem sizable, and so looks promising for a payment.
I would imagine there's quite a few assets in there. Bar area, wet stock. There's always an office, PC equipment, TVs in each room. So hopefully we'll get somewhere.
Ken heads in to tell them those assets are in jeopardy unless they can pay up.
Hello, I'd like to speak to the MD, person in charge, if possible.
He's not available at the moment. Would you like to come back later on?
Not really. Is he in the building?
No, he's not. He just left. He would be here in 1 hour time, probably.
About an hour?
Yeah.
Is there any chance you can get him on the phone? It's quite important.
The receptionist does just that, and moments later she's back, with the manager on the line.
What it's about? You're 2 minutes away. Brilliant. Oh, I'll see you face to face. Thank you. Cheers, sir.
With the manager on the way, Ken takes the opportunity to size up the assets on show. And after years in the trade, he knows exactly what he's looking for.
Hotel's set out quite nice. Good quality dining furniture. All proper heavy metal, chrome, leather backed. You've got some good equipment down here. It's always nice to see. You've got some assets as soon as you walk in.
True to his word, the manager arrives moments later.
Hello.
And Ken follows him into the office.
Right, sir. This is regarding a High Court judgment.
Ken is just about to explain his writ, but refreshingly, this time it's not necessary.
You know exactly what this is about, do you?
Yeah, I do. I'm aware of it. The owners came in, the old owner didn't pay the debt, so we inherited it.
The manager says the hotel is under new management, and the debt was incurred by the previous owner. As the debt's in the business's name, it still needs paying, and luckily, the new owners agree.
I have spoken to them. The funds are on the way to pay the thing.
Wonderful.
And they should be here by next week, Wednesday.
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't say that. I was hoping you were going to say, like, right now.
The court order was issued months ago, so it's Ken's job to get it paid as soon as possible.
Which would...
What can you get me now?
Nothing. Tomorrow, if you want something, I can arrange it. But today, nothing at all.
That's fine. What can you pay tomorrow?
About £1,000.
You can pay £1,000 tomorrow. Okay. Well,
I can have that ready for you around the same time tomorrow.
It's a bit of a letdown for Ken. But given that they acknowledge the debt and seem to have a plan for its repayment, he doesn't feel the need to threaten to empty the rooms and force the hotel to close its doors.
your total due, including charges, £6,276.
Right.
What I need to do is I need to list the assets here.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't pay right now.
Right.
So what do you have other than what I've seen in the reception area on the ground floor?
All the 60 bedrooms.
60 bedrooms. Kitchen area.
Kitchen area.
There's a kitchen area.
When a debtor can't pay, sheriffs have the option of agreeing a repayment plan and taking control of their assets. As this is a sizable debt, Ken's list needs to be long, but luckily there's no shortage of items here.
Glass washer, ice machine, bar chiller cabinets.
His comprehensive list is also designed to make sure the manager knows he really does mean business.
And now I'm just going to do the kitchen, and then I'll do a rough guesstimate as to how much value we've got there before making the decision whether or not to go to the rooms and maybe look for the TV sets.
But by the time he's been through the hotel's kitchen, he's already got page after page of assets listed. Satisfied it's enough, he completes the paperwork.
It's £1,000 tomorrow, followed by £5,276.56 next Wednesday.
And is on his way.
Thanks very much.
Talk to you tomorrow.
I'm sure you'll get that done. Look forward to it. Cheers.
He hasn't been paid, but Ken's happy he's made the right call for now.
He was really nice, and it's a lovely hotel. If I was to go in there and start unplugging things, and it would basically shut the place down. So he's promised me £1,000 tomorrow, and the balance is going to be paid in 6 days' time. He's pretty confident of that. I'm confident that he's confident. Everyone's happy. I am for now.
Ken's taken the man at his word. But later, he's forced to visit the business for a second time.
You have broken the control goods agreement. So the reason we're here now is for full payment or removal of goods. As black and as white as that.
It's before daybreak in the Midlands, and as usual, enforcement agents Tommy Coyle and Craig Wilde are already on the road. They've got a High Court writ and are preparing to knock on the door of another debtor, this time at a residential property.
In Luton today, big early start, going to a home address of a Mr. Charles O'Dong. We have limited information on him, only apart from the fact that he's actually a doctor.
Mr. O'Dong has been taken to court by a Mr. Simon Walsh over damage to a property. When he didn't offer a defence, judgment was awarded by default. He now owes £3,226. The sheriffs reach Mr. O'Dong's address at first light.
This one here.
This one.
And there's a welcome discovery.
Oh, 59 plate Jag. Mate.
He's here. He's here.
That's his car. Might be clear of finance as well, mate. 59 plate. 7 years old, that is.
But before they get too carried away with the car, they first try to make contact with the debtor.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Their knocking has raised one of the occupants.
Hello there, trying to get in contact with Charles O'Dong. I'm an enforcement agent to do the High Court writ that I'm here to execute today. Are you, sorry, who are you? You're his daughter. Okay. Do you want to open the door and I can just show you some identification of who I am?
Tommy shows the woman his ID and explains that he's here for just over £3,200.
If he can't get this sorted out by way of payment, unfortunately, we would look at removing assets.
The woman says her father can't come to the door and is in bed, but Tommy's undeterred.
Tell him to ring me now and I'll talk to him down here, or I can go in the van and talk to him if you're a bit more private.
Craig, meanwhile, can already sense payment in the air.
It would appear that our defendant's inside the house. He's laid up in bed. She's refusing access at the moment. So Tommy's given us some paperwork with the figure on, and also Tommy's telephone number. So if he wants to play ball, he can pay it straight away. If he doesn't, then we're looking to take further action, which could possibly mean removing one of the cars.
It's not long before Tommy's phone rings.
Hello there.
It's Mr. O'Dong. He says he's going to try to get the money together, but he wants the sheriffs to wait for an hour until his wife comes home.
Right, and what, waiting for the hour, is that to pay it in full? Because that's what would need to happen. We're here to execute a High Court writ, which unfortunately would mean if you can't tell me this is going to get paid, we would look at removing the vehicles off the drive, or one of them, if it will clear the balance.
Mr. O'Dong says he can't afford the whole amount.
If you can't pay if you can't, sir, there's no point talking over me, or we'll just carry on what we need to do. If we can't get it paid in full, which I've explained already twice now, we are here to remove assets. So there's no point me waiting for your partner to come back, which you've just told me you can't pay it in full.
Now Mr. O'Dong says he might be able to pay it all, but needs to speak to his wife first.
Sir, that's not what you just told me a moment ago. If you're telling me, are you telling me you can pay this in full if we wait here? If you're not telling me that, then I'll carry on and clamp the vehicle and look to remove it.
Mr. O'Dong isn't sure whether he can raise the money or not.
Well, I'm going to clamp your vehicle, sir, unfortunately. Right, let's clamp the car.
But moments after he ended the call, Mr. O'Dong's daughter comes to the door once again.
You're right.
Unsurprisingly, she doesn't want the car to go.
No, I appreciate that, but the problem I've got, which I explained to him, if he can't tell me that he's going to have the full balance. What he's telling me is to wait until he spoke to his partner and see what he can get. If he tells me he's going to have the full balance in an hour, I will wait that hour.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, just wait an hour.
And he's going to have the full balance. What I'll do is I'll do all the checks I need to do, and I'll start doing my paperwork.
Okay.
We'll wait that hour. All right, thank you very much.
Tommy's going to give Mr. O'Dong the benefit of the doubt.
She did say they will have the balance. That's all I was trying to get from him. I don't mind waiting an hour if they're telling me they're going to pay it in full.
But while they're going to hold off on calling a removal truck for the time being, that doesn't mean they won't secure their prize asset.
Tommy gets the jaw out.
Let's see if I can get on this back one.
The back one, thank Tom. Okay.
While they wait it out in the van, Craig decides to call the office for an HPI check on the Jag. That will hopefully confirm it's not on finance, and so can be taken if needs be.
Fingers crossed. It's what every enforcement agent wants to hear. Clear of finance. Hi, Lawrence. Lawrence, can you do a HPI for me, please?
What's the reg?
Alpha Juliet 59. Should come up as a Jaguar XF.
It does indeed. God blimey. It's on finance, it's an insurance write-off. But presumably he paid so that it fix themselves.
It's the worst news possible. Not only is the Jaguar on a finance arrangement, it's also been in an accident so serious that an insurance company wrote it off before it was repaired and put back on the road. It's an unexpected blow for the sheriffs.
Our main lever is now gone. So, I mean, at the moment, they're still apparently getting the money. So, we'll wait till the time, and it's just down to use our other tactics. And unfortunately, this one ain't gonna work, so we'll evaluate the situation in 15 minutes' time and play it by ear.
But half an hour later, there's no sign of Mum. Tommy knocks on the door.
You alright? No problem. You're rough timed, you know. But
she's in the car driving, so she will be.
we'll wait a bit longer. Alright, thank you.
Another 10 minutes passes and a car pulls up.
That's her, isn't it? You reckon?
That's a nice Toyota.
Yeah.
But Mrs. O'Dong doesn't hang around to speak to the sheriffs and heads inside. While they wait for her to decide if she's ready to engage with them, Craig spots an opportunity.
Which one's the clamp one? That one.
He's now got his eye on the Toyota Mrs. O'Dong pulled up in.
Can you do a HPI for me, please?
Though hopefully it won't come to that.
They don't look like they want to sort it out at the minute.
But Mrs. O'Dong does soon appear behind the door, and Tommy's pretty sure she wants to pay.
We can do it on an online transfer. I can give you some account details if that's easiest.
At least he thinks that's what she said.
So it's very difficult to hear you.
Hang on, there's a lorry out here. I can't hear what you're saying.
It's very difficult to hear you through the door. So, sorry.
Part of our job, just conversing with people through locked doors.
Yeah, I've got some account details. Do you want to take these off me? You can leave the chain on.
But Mrs. O'Dong opts for the letterbox instead.
Oh yeah, here we go.
She makes the payment, and Tommy soon has confirmation that £3,226 have been received.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Jackie. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's all cleared in full. So that's classed as a satisfied judgment now. All right, thank you very much.
The Jag may not have come good for the sheriffs, but nonetheless, they've managed to get the outcome they wanted.
Yeah, good result. Obviously, we did the early attendance this morning, which we generally do residential.
You could see from their actions they weren't going to talk to us or deal with us initially.
We had to put the clamp on to put the pressure on, unfortunately, and then it ended up with a result of payment in full with the partner helping out, which is just what we wanted.
The claimant, Mr. Walsh, will now get the money he's owed. When debtors can't pay on the spot,
I'm assuming that you haven't got £5,000.
oh dear, the sheriffs won't always remove assets to get your money. Goods go for about a fifth of their true value at auction, and it's often better to agree to a payment plan.
If you can come up with half of it today.
Do you reckon you can do 200 a week?
they'll make a list of assets.
Ice machine, bar chiller cabinets,
Television, PlayStation.
And a controlled goods agreement is signed, making it an offence for anyone else to remove them.
You sign the form. It acts as security.
The sheriffs will only return to take the goods if the debtor fails to make payments.
I've signed him up to £1,000 a month. Providing you stick to that, you won't hear from us again.
Ken Warby is back in Luton. He's on his way once again to the Stewart Hotel, which owes more than £6,000 after failing to pay a linen company. Last time, the manager told Ken he couldn't pay there and then, and promised to do so within the week. But the money hasn't arrived.
The original payment plan was that he was going to pay me £1,000 the day after, which he never did. That took about a week. And the balance within 6 days, well, we are where we are now. 14 days later, he has only paid £1,000.
Previously, Ken gave the manager the benefit of the doubt, but this time, Ken won't compromise.
The leverage we've got is that he has signed a controlled goods agreement, and the list we've made is quite a large list. If he doesn't pay, it's my intention to remove the items.
When a CGA is broken, the sheriffs can return at any time to remove the assets. No ifs, no buts. So one way or another, Ken won't be leaving empty-handed.
Hello again.
Once again, he's led into the office where, to his surprise, the manager hands him a payment receipt.
Oh, this is a receipt you've got for online payment.
Yes.
You made yesterday.
Yes. The date is
For £1,000, right. Problem is, when you originally signed that controlled goods agreement,
yes, sir.
it was you that said to me straight away, I'll have the money in 6 days, and £1,000 to be paid the following day. That £1,000 took nearly a week to come to our office. Okay, you paid that late to begin with. This was agreed 14 days ago.
Yes.
So you have broken the controlled goods agreement.
Yes.
So the reason we're here now is for full payment or removal of goods. As black and as white as that.
And that's not the only bad news for the manager.
The problem you've also got is that because I'm here now to remove goods, it's gone up. So with the £2,000 you've already paid, the amount you owe now is £5,901 and 9p. High court costs, very expensive.
But the manager says he doesn't have £5,000 and hands his phone over to Ken.
Let me stop you there. Who am I talking to? You're his friend?
The man on the phone says the hotel is trying to come to an arrangement with the claimant to clear the debt.
I understand that. Let me just stop you there, all right? The last contact we had with the claimant was that he'd given it to us to deal with. It's in our hands, and as far as he's concerned, he wants his payments.
But the man is still hoping to do a deal and says they can clear the debt in a couple of months.
No, it's not acceptable, sir. No, sir. We require payment in full now, and unfortunately, it's gone up because we're here to remove goods. Yeah, it's gone up to the tune of £5,901, and it will go up a further £300 should a van turn up here to remove goods.
With a long list of hotel assets that now technically belong to the court, Ken wants full payment, and it's not up for negotiation.
I'm here now to remove goods, now. So rather than us waste any more time, please start making these phone calls now to get this money to me now, okay? I'll wait.
I cannot do it this minute, but if you give me until 5 o'clock today.
You know, I'm not going to go away and come back again. I'm here now.
I understand, but until 5 o'clock, that's all I'm asking, a few hours.
Sir, I've got a few hours, so please start making the phone calls. I'll wait here for the payments. Believe me, the last thing I want to do is start removing goods from here.
But that's exactly what will happen if he doesn't pay. And Ken reckons the threat is working.
It's gone from 2 months to 4 hours. So he can get the money that quick. I'm pretty confident we're going to get paid on this. We'll wait around. He's got to make a few phone calls.
Ken makes himself comfortable in the dining room. And just 10 minutes later, it seems things are moving in the right direction.
You got £3 coming, you got £1 in your pocket, so you want just shy of £2 now. You're waiting for.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem is, that's not going to arrive for another few hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All I'm asking, I'll pay you everything today, but 3 o'clock, give me until 3 o'clock.
Ken's heard this man's promises before and is understandably wary. But it does seem like the threat of imminent removal of goods has sunk in, and his efforts to secure the money are becoming more urgent.
What he's saying to me is he's got £1,000 in his back pocket, which I didn't know he had when I first got in here. He's also contacted someone that is just about to transfer £3,000 into his account. So, in effect, he's got around about 4. He needs another £1,900, and he's going to get someone else to help him out and transfer into his account. However, that person is not going to be able to get that sorted for a few hours yet. So I think it's a question of waiting around. If I leave now, then the pressure's off. So I'm going to stay around and have a coffee, I think.
But in the end, Ken doesn't even get a chance to enjoy a cappuccino. A few minutes later, the manager calls him back into the office once more to tell him he's raised the full amount.
That didn't take long, did it? Thank you very much.
When he arrived this morning, it didn't look like the hotel was going to be able to come up with the money today. But Ken's tough stance has been rewarded, and he's leaving with payment in full.
It's gone from £2,000 tomorrow and the balance in a couple of months to immediate payment on a debit card. I thought I'd get paid. I didn't quite think I'd get paid as quick as that.
Tommy and Craig are back in the van, on their way to another job. This time they're looking for a car garage with a substantial debt to pay.
So we're in Coventry today. Bit dark and gloomy, especially for Mr. Harjinder Singh.
On the writ is Mr. Singh, trading as Crossroad Garage. A parts supplier went to court over unpaid bills. The case wasn't defended and a default judgment was made. The debt is now £12,007. The sheriffs are on their way to an address which they're assuming is the debtor's place of work.
We've got a unit number, so it's obviously a commercial premises, so hopefully there'll be some assets there for us to look at and hopefully secure.
With it being a garage, obviously there'll be tools, compressors, ramps, could be a recovery vehicle, which hold a lot of value generally. So we'll be looking for all this.
It's just here, mate.
Oh, there it is, Crossroad Garage.
The sheriffs pull in and survey the site.
First impression, it's a medium sort of sized garage, workshop area with a fair few sort of mediocre cars, apart from one quite smart one, which may be the boss's, but we're all going to have a look now. Happy days. No one in there. Must be in there, mate. There you go.
You're right. Harjinder Singh.
Just come to the shop. It'll be literally a couple of minutes if you want to.
We can wait.
Moments later, Mr. Singh arrives.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hello, sir. Is it Harjinder Singh?
That's me, yes.
Enforcement agents from the Sheriff's Office.
Come on in.
Do you want to have a conversation? I'll explain everything, sir.
Mr. Singh doesn't want our cameraman in his office, so we step outside while Tommy and Craig explain that they're here to collect £12,000 the court says Mr. Singh owes. But he's not in the mood to reach into his pocket. He says he doesn't owe any money, and after 15 minutes trying to set him straight, the sheriffs aren't getting anywhere.
He's got an unusual sort of take on this. He claims not to know anything about the liability. We've explained to him we've got two names on the order, Crossroads Garage and him personally trading as. He then explains that he runs the business, but he's merely an employee. We told him to get the owner of the business on the phone, which just happens to be his wife. He's made no effort to contact her. He's also explained that he can't pay. Going to start listing the stuff down with a view to removing the items, which we've fully explained to him at further cost. So hopefully this will provoke him into getting the money together.
But it soon becomes abundantly clear that Mr. Singh isn't going to back down in a hurry. Even the sight of Tommy and Craig listing garage equipment for potential removal isn't prompting him to change his stance. After nearly an hour since the sheriffs first arrived, they're in much the same position.
He needs to get the wife on the phone, but he's singing the same tune. Nothing to do with him. He's just the manager of the business, and it's all in his wife's name, and she should deal with it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cat and mouse at the moment. I want to look to move the van back up now, obviously escalating this, so he knows it is happening.
While Tommy swings the van into position, ready to receive some of the assets, Mr. Singh comes out to tell us to get off the property.
Leave from here as well, okay.
Inside the garage, the sheriffs continue to list the goods which he says don't belong to him. But in the meantime, Craig thinks he might have come up with another source of assets and another potential lever to demand payment. He thinks the car lot next door might be part of the same business.
He reckons he hasn't got any cars for sale, but I've looked in the office and done a bit of a search in there, and I found some car keys which could relate to the actual vehicles behind the fence here, so he could actually in fact be doing car sales.
The car lot seems to be branded as Crossroad Car Sales, which is a different trading name. But the telephone number is the same one as the garage. Craig goes back to speak to Mr. Singh, and when he returns, it seems they might be getting somewhere. Mr. Singh has finally called his wife.
The initial conversation was him and his wife talking. Tommy wanted to speak to the wife directly to make sure that she's fully aware of the situation. But eventually when Tommy did speak to the wife, she said that she wasn't going to pay it, she was just going to come down here and have the row. Clearly that's not what we want. So he's had another chat with his wife, who now says she's going to come down and pay it.
Craig, meanwhile, has made a phone call of his own.
Cheers, mate. Take care. Bye-bye. At the moment, we've been in contact with the office. They're organising the removal, the contractors to come down here. We're waiting on their phone call. But in the meantime, if she turns up and wants to pay it, then we'll also look at doing that. But time is of the essence now. It's getting near the end game now. So they need to either pay up or lose the gear. Simple as.
A couple of minutes later, a car arrives.
Yeah, that's the wife. That's the wife.
And it seems she has indeed come with the money. She pays £12,000, settling the debt in full. The sheriffs unload some of the goods they'd secured in their van while they waited for the removal lorry and are on their way.
So, yeah, a good result there. We got paid in full, £12,600. It's touch and go the second half, but we got over the line.
We'd already gone to the stage of putting items in the back of the van.
Hydraulic jacks, trolley jacks.
It's the point we had to push it to get him to take this seriously.
More than 3 months after winning in court, the parts supplier will now receive the money they were rightfully owed. Meanwhile, Mr. Singh's wife told us she was not aware of any paperwork from the courts in advance of the enforcement. She says she disputes the debt and has applied to the courts to get the judgment set aside.